Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing? As this game took a moment to get into the loading screen, but there we have it. It's the finals of the Xel'Naga Finest, number 6. Elazer taking on souL, best of 5 TVZ. And we're going to kick this off in the top right-hand side of Zen with our blue Zerg player, Elazer.
Dodged the bullet on Nightshade, but here he is in the Grand Finals, and the man to make it an all-Polish Grand Finals in the left bottom side of Zen, looking at the main base of a souL.
Now, as this series gets started, guys, exciting time for you all in the chat because it's time to win an AOC monitor. The first of 2 that we might give away tonight. This one, definitely going to give away. This is from last week. Obviously, this is our last week of the Xel'Naga Finest, which means that we might have another one if Reynor wins the show match after the finals. So, the deal is the same as always. You have to type !AOC into the chat, and then you will be entered to win. Writing it multiple times will not enter you more than once. You'll, in fact, just get timed out, which is never fun. And then, also, the last thing you need to know is stick around. Please don't leave. We've not had a week yet where we've given away a monitor and the first person drawn has been here. So stick around so that when we do the drawing after the finals and before the show match, when you win a monitor, you actually get the monitor. Otherwise, someone else is going to get your monitor. And that's a feels bad, man, if you go back and watch the VOD and realize that that was your chance to win something. And what were you doing? You went to the bathroom? No. Stay here. Watch TVZ. You have no reason to leave.
Pee in a bucket if you have to. There's an AOC monitor on the line, okay, guys?
Exactly.
Hey, what is happening over here?
What part? Oh, the fact souL's still on one base.
Yeah, that part.
that one too.
I feel like I'm watching a slightly different build order than I normally see.
I feel like this is just like super fast Hellions, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they are going to be really quick, but... Okay, nice kind of build. So, it's no Reaper into Hellions. Is that a thing? How often do you see this? I feel like I never see this.
I feel like no Reaper in TVZ in general is a bit, well, there's a reason you build the Reaper every time.
There's like 2 people that I can see open up like this, and that's like Goody and Ziggy, you know, because they always give their weird little twist to their openings, but this is kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, these... Whoa, Roach Warren. Okay.
This is why you build a Reaper, Roddy.
Yeah, well, okay, now he is going Reaper. It's just a little later than we normally see it.
Yeah,
well, this game is just off the deep end, man. I have no idea what's supposed to happen. This is legit a scenario I have never casted.
I feel like way back when, do you remember Froz?
Frost the Terran?
Yeah. I feel like there was a thing that was called Froz Hellions, which was when the Hellions were really quick. And I think that, I can't remember exactly, but I think it might have been when you go factory before expansion. And that was the Froz Hellions, but like this was so long ago, I'm not even convinced.
I have never heard of Froz Hellions.
I think I'd have to ask like Ethermal or something.
Okay. Well, Hellions are cruising around and they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, everything's kind of normal. Not being aware at all right now that there are 6 roaches in production. That is a lot of roaches. Now there is drones going up behind this as well. This is actually this is so weird because the roaches want to move to the other side of the map, but they would also be very useful in defending. Those are 4 Zerglings without speed.
Oh, the Queens
are blocking the entrance though. That's really sick. And now it's very bad for souL. Like,
yeah.
Very bad.
He's going to put a starport on the tech collapse. He's going to get to a Banshee, but the build time of the Banshee, it's not super quick. So you've got some time to buy here.
Wait.
And then you're in trouble.
Why did he just drop a Mew on the low ground? He should be aware of the fact that roaches are like seconds away from showing up. Okay, I'm so confused about everything in this game, Wardi.
I mean, maybe souL's just been waiting a little while and he's just like, you know, a bit not quite warmed up. Bit of a mistake. Well, supply deep is going to go down. How many SCVs are going to fall, Roddy? Give us a number.
16.
I'm going to say 21.
Wow. You're going for blackjack over here?
Yeah, I'm going for the blackjack SCV kills. Because isn't looking good. Gets a couple of mules and now the Banshee already out. I think 16 might be a better call, Roddy. A much better call.
Yeah. We'll see. He can kill from the high ground as well.
Yeah, that Banshee's working though. 13.
Yeah, some low HP. Come on, mate. Make me run. Nah, it's gonna be 13. Go back for the drones.
Maybe I just meant they'll be, you know, he killed a couple mules, they count for 4, right?
Yeah, 2 4s, and then you have blackjack.
Yeah.
Hit me, dealer. Just one more card.
Overlord from Elazer is taking some
Oh my
vision.
god.
He has so much vision.
I just looked at the work account because I'm like zoning out a little bit, you know, because it's been a long broadcast for us already, and I played a lot of games myself as well, and I was just looking at this, and the only thing that I was telling myself was like, this is really bad for souL. Then I look at the work account, and he's down 30 workers. Like, I figured he was gonna be down like 20 something, you know, but he's down 30 workers. Oh my goodness.
The straight 30 just has like a ring to it as well, right?
Yeah. It's not like 28, like, no, it's 30. And it's gonna... Do you think he's ever gonna be down 40 workers in this game?
I mean, Elazer will do his best efforts to make that so. I mean, what does Elazer have to be scared of, to be fair? There is a Banshee that was already deflected because he built spores. souL's actually making a third Banshee as well, which I feel is really, at this point, just the desperation. I need something that can do damage, so...
He was literally doubling the work account there for a bit. Oh my god, I feel like... No, okay, I don't think we'll get 40, but we'll get 35. Okay, well, the Banshees are gonna try to make this game a little bit closer than it really isn't at this point. I think we might get the 40 working. This is the most exciting thing right now. No, stop building buildings and build drones!
Cancel the Evo chambers!
No, he makes Zerglings. This is unbelievable one. Okay,
I can't
35
believe
workers ahead.
Oh, well, now he's gonna go back to 30. Banshees do get a few kills. I mean, that's great and all. If this was any other game, it'd be like, well, you know, souL, good Banshee control, keeps them alive. In this game, I'm like, well, just...
Okay, do you think he leaves when he realizes that he... Well, actually, he's got Hellions, right? I was like, these Lings might get a cancel, but that's a lot of Hellions, so I don't think these Lings are canceling anything over here.
No.
Oh, that's going to be a feel-good moment for souL. He's going to go Mass Banshee against the Spire. Cool.
And the Scout. Overseer flies straight in as the starports begin to build. Yeah. Well, there's a fun game.
The thing is, the anti-air that souL is currently working with, Wardi, is one Marine. That one Marine was always going to have a really hard time denying this Overseer from going in. Where is this one Marine? What it's in front of the depots. What a guy. He's like, the few, the proud, the Marines. It's like standing over there. No.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. He's just going into... I mean, souL's going to try play mech. I mean... he just has no idea. He's going to build a reactor on one of the starports. Reactor Vikings?
I don't know, man. This is not fair. Like, Elazer can have like 22 Middleisk against one Marine.
He's currently working at a 12-to-1 ratio, right? So if you just imagine souL has like 10 Marines, it's like just more than a drop. Elazer has 120 Middleisk.
And yes, Marines are good, guys. But there's no upgrade advantage either. Well, eBay is gonna pick it up. Now, if souL... Oh, 11 more drones, Wardi. No, still not 40, damn it. I would like to see 100 drones. He's getting close again to the 40 work elite.
Well, 93, if he loses the SCVs without GGing.
Oh, yes!
Oh! There it is!
He's up 40 workers!
But he's gonna go up 50.
Yes.
Why is souL not left the game?
I don't know. So you've got one Marine at anti-air.
Is this not like if you fly into the natural and he GGs? Leaves the game 70 workers down.
70 workers down and one Marine against 18 Midas in his base. And he's like, well, so you're telling me I've got a chance? It's like, no, there is no chance here, souL. Oh.
All right, well, game 2 coming up in a few moments' time.
And it's gonna be better than game 1. Oh.
Yeah. I like that.
You know what I really wonder? Like, obviously, I think the game-winning move in this game by Elazer, like, I think his builder is always going to do quite well against the builder of souL. But I think a game-winning move for Elazer was truly putting that one queen on the ramp, right?
Yes.
Because imagine if those Hellions do get into the main base. Like, Zerg economies, they really snowball. So if you can truly stop that snowball from ever growing in the first place, and maybe Elazer also loses 7 or 8 drones there, then I think we cast a completely different game, because then he doesn't have a 30 work elite. Like, this is no freaking way. But this was brutal.
Game number 2. About to begin.
I do think that Marine.
Shade.
I do think that Marine made it to the end.
Yeah, I don't think he died. I think he was in the perfect place to actually avoid everything.
Yeah.
He was just like, his job was just to stand guard of the wall off in the front and like raise the depots if the Lings ran by. He had nothing to do about the Mutalisks. He was just chilling on duty. This is all going on behind him. It's like the TV show, right? Like the Marines stood there on guard, and like behind him, like everything's burning, everyone's dying, and he's just like sat there whistling, like. So...
It's like, looks pretty good over here, guys. Like, I mean, they told us something was coming, but I really don't see anything. And then eventually he turns around, puts on the binoculars, and it's like, no, run! It's like that Game of Thrones scene, you know, when everything is on fire. He's like, oh, no!
Oh, well, souL has asked for a couple of minutes here. So he's too tired after the early games.
Did he actually ask for minutes? That's the only thing I saw. I just saw him say too tired.
He said,
after
I
games.
need 2 to 3 minutes, so...
Okay, I missed that message. That makes sense. You know, it is grand finals, and there's obviously 100 euros on the line. Second place will still get 150 euros, which I think is really awesome. I think that's one of the best things we did with the Xel'Naga Finest, making sure that the top 4 gets paid and not just the winner. I think that's really awesome.
It really makes it just viable for everyone to play in, right? Because yes, it's obviously good if you're a very good player to show up and like to play in these events. Can you imagine you're like Gungfu, who hits top 4 3 times out of 6 events? That's sick, right? But if you only pay out top 2, Gungfu's going home with nothing. Now he's left with 150 euros over the last couple of weeks. So.
Made a tweet about. He did make a tweet in the end. He obviously didn't make the Turkey They Know tweet because he somehow won game 2. I wonder.
Yeah.
Do you think he realized how far behind he was in that game? Like, I think he sort of knew, but I don't think he actually really knew in numbers. Maybe he took a look at the graph and he's like, "Oh my god, how did I win that game?"
Very possible.
That was quite the roller coaster. That was probably my favorite game of the day, even though it was painful, but it was also awesome.
Well, we've got ourselves the second map. souL is ready as we kick off and go into the top left-hand side. Poor Blue Terran. Down 70 workers coming out the last game. At least he gets a chance to start off even again now. It is souL.
You know, what if with that message, he's like too tired after early games, he meant, I forgot my command center early on. Just kidding, guys. I know that's not the case. In the right bottom side of Nightshade, we're looking in the main base of the man who wants to win his first edition of the Xel'Naga Finest. Hey, and don't forget, wants to become the first non-Terran champion as well. Hey, we didn't mention that one yet. It is Elazer.
Yeah, that would be true. First non-Terran victory potentially here today.
That's kind of crazy. If you would have told me that we're going to have 6 weeks of top European StarCraft, 500 euros a week prize pool, what do you think is the racial distribution after 5 cups? I would have probably been like, Terran 2, Zerg 2, Protoss 1. Like, that would have probably been my honest prediction. I don't think anybody in his right mind would have been like, Terran 5, Zerg and Protoss 0. Like, that's not something you predict.
Nope. Not at all. I actually wouldn't. Terran, like, people, we've been memeing a bit lately, but Terrans have actually done really well in online cups lately.
Oh, I know. Like, I don't even meme about that, mate. That's a fact. They have been doing particularly well. You know, I actually recently opened the European page of the weekly. It's like, we've had like 18 editions and 14 of them have been won by Terran. I was like, but in week 7 and 8, when they didn't win, they did feel frustrated because they were economically behind.
Yeah, in the games they lost, they didn't have the economy to win.
All right, so we're gonna face the opening over here from Elazer, who went with the pool first, then the hatchery, then took his gas, and he's gonna open up with the roach warren. Now that SCV did confirm the timing on the hatchery, and it's obviously a bit tricky, right, for souL, because now he's like, oh, okay, there's Zerglings out on the map, so I need to keep my Reaper at home. But I don't think he's just worried about the Zerglings, because you can already see souL building a bunker as well. So souL is familiar with this trick. He is gonna actually leave with the Reaper because he does want to spot those roaches as quickly as possible. It's important that Marine doesn't die, by the way. That Marine really needs to stay alive. souL, hello? Oh, he's got a second Marine. It's all good.
Yeah, second Marine is nice. There's the Reaper. Went down the bottom right, but the Reaper turned back around before he saw the roaches still. So he's still seeing this later than he could be. Because he sees it now. So now he knows. But of course, this from Elazer is not going to be 6 roaches like last time. It's 4 and a Ravager. Okay, so it's 5. That's actually more than I thought. I thought it was only going to be like 3, and then he's going to draw already. But no,
that's
still
what I
is 5.
thought too. Feels like this is not gonna do much, or am I crazy? I feel like it's really not gonna do much.
Maybe like a couple of SCV kills that repair the bunker.
Yeah, best case scenario. But I think now the Cyclone is gonna get out. Yeah. A couple of roaches actually just run past the bunker. Hey, that's kind of cool. He grenaded the Ravager, or he launched the Ravager in range of that bunker. The roaches are gonna flank the SCVs. Elazer really wants to get a couple of SCVs here, and he does get at least one. Well, gets the second one because it pops out of the orbiter at a very unfortunate moment. And now the Cyclone is up, and that means that this party is pretty much going to end here.
Yeah, just loses a Ravager as well, which is a shame, obviously, because the Ravager is the sort of unit you really do like to keep alive in this scenario. Because going back home, having a Ravager, you know, an extra Ravager already, it just means defending some of the harassment's a bit easier. It's always nice to have a couple of corrosive bars to change where Marines are standing in a fight or so. There's the Banshee on the way from souL as a follow-up now, so this is really nice just in case there's like more roaches as a follow-up at some point. It really deters the Elazer from doing like a roach lingle in another 10 drones from now or something. And so then you obviously get some harassment on the map, and then you go into Nightshade, which is generally a pretty good map for the Terran in the mid game, so that's just where souL wants to get to.
Fusion core, alrighty. souL getting feisty over here. Might see a couple of battle cruisers. That's kind of cool. And I don't hate it at all, because the lair is always going to be a bit late right after a start like this. It definitely hurts the Zerg economy to open up with these roaches. It really takes a little while longer for everything to start rolling forward. So I kind of like having BCs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It's also a nice one to mix in because it's not something you expect every game as the Zerg, right? So if you're not really thinking about it and you kind of let it slip by, and then a BC shows up and suddenly you're pulling all the queens to deal with the BC because you have no spores or whatever, and then the next thing you know, there's Hellions in your third, everything falls apart real quick from there.
And Banshee spots that Overlord, so this Overlord is going to get picked up as well, and that means Elazer is going to be supply blocked for a little while. He's going to have to wait for those OVs to finish up. Oh, it's 2 Starport even, sorry. I completely missed that.
Yeah, you completely missed the second Starport in production too. I just assumed it was like going to be 1 BC in a bio. It's going to be 2 BCs. This is really bad if you don't scout it, obviously.
Yeah, that can be game ending. I feel like we have seen high level games just end with 2 BCs jumping into the main base.
Yeah, no, for sure. The damage difference between 1 and 2 BCs and being able to just like get rid of queens too quickly and so on is huge. There's now a couple drones on the third, and the Hellions will actually get back off creeps. They will get away.
The Lynx though. The Lynx broke through the depots. Now there are Marines, there are Cyclones. Never mind, the Lynx won't get much though. I'm sorry, Wardi.
All good, all good. I mean, not much happened on the... Well, it's actually important because souL did stop micro in the Hellions, so he actually ended up losing the Hellions, which looked like they would have gotten away otherwise, so... A little bit of a shame, of course. The Elazer is still, I'd like to say, clueless about the double starport, so...
That's 5 queens. That's game ending. 5 queens, no spore crawlers. Chat, I want to see some Fs in the chat once those BCs jump in, because I feel we are 12 seconds away from this game being over.
Do you think he waits for Yamato, or do you think he just goes with 2?
No, he better goes right now. And I think that Elazer pulls queens, fights, and then GG's out.
Yeah, I like the prediction. You'll see. Oof, doesn't even pull queens. Wow. GG.
Amps in the chat. I like it by souL though. Wow, that was cool. The second, yeah, that's. Oh, I love it. The second starboard, we didn't even really pay attention to it. It's been a long day for us, of course, as well, guys. But yeah, it's brilliant because of everything we mentioned before. When you open up with these roaches, I really do think you want to get way more done than you actually got done as Elazer. And then to obviously recover from that, you gotta build a lot of drones. And yeah, you make a couple of Zerglings to make sure you're safe against the Hellions, but you're never going to have a Spire there. You're never going to have a whole bunch of Spore Crawlers because you want to keep those drones alive, because you want to catch up economically, because your opening didn't work out. No Spores, double BC. That is a good way to shut any party down. So far, these games are a lot shorter than I ever thought they were going to be, Wardi. Like, what is happening with our souL?
We had 2 games in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was expecting us to be, 7 command centers deep right now.
Yes. So, I was expecting us to be 7 CCs and 3 sensor towers deep right now. And a fight near a Xel'Naga watchtower somewhere on the map. Like, that's kind of what I thought we'd be casting at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a bit of a different turn to expectation. Obviously, Elazer, somewhat to blame for that. A couple of roach openings back to back. Now we go into Everdream, and this is one where you can absolutely split split the map, take some bases on either side, and, well, make it a long one. Make up for what we didn't get in game number 1 and game number 2, as in the bottom left-hand side. Elazer. So that represents the Zerg.
There's a hair here as well, actually. It's on the left side of the hatch. I never saw it on this side. Oh my goodness. I can't stop focusing.
At least there's a white hair on the right side. Do you see that?
Oh my god, Wardi. No, what have you done to my eyes? What have you done to me?
Oh, you don't have creep on the top right, but next time we do have a Zerg on the top right, I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah, I had never seen that. What have you done to me?
Oh, I don't know.
Alright, on the right top side, no hair in his beautiful base. Spawning as the blue Polish Terran player, awesome building game 2, got a quick and easy victory. It is souL.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheer on souL. I don't like the house, so let's go souL.
I mean, if souL wins, we do get the Terran sweep of the Xel'Naga Finest. I think that's kind of cool.
Do you think they'll finally stop complaining?
Never. Never.
So yeah, we got the Terran.
A lot of people are very obsessed with their rights, right? Like, whatever country they live, they're like, it's my right! And I feel like Terran players are like, this is what my grandfather fought for, to have the right to complain about balances. That's why.
I feel like it's going to be like, Terran's like, yeah, we got the sweep, but you do know Reynor beat us like 3 out of 6 times in the show match afterwards, right? Like,
So do you know how many maps we lost on our way to the grand finals?
Yeah.
I love you, Terran players. Never change. You guys keep the scene fun and feisty.
Fun and feisty, I love it. Reaper from souL. Gonna go down the bottom left, and no Rotor on Roddy yet.
I know. I'm kind of happy to see it. Now, before we started, actually, Wardi and I, obviously, we always talk a little bit while we're on break. And I did say, I was like, I'm worried about Everdream.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I really have the feeling that this is going to be a long one. I feel like Elazer, Lambo, when they play against the Terrans on these maps, like, they have just been, how would you say, squeezing out or pushing out all these, like, crackers of games that go, like, 37 minutes long. And they have massive banks and banelings everywhere, running into Liberators, planetary fortresses. I've seen it quite a few times. I'm feeling it. This is going to be the longest one of the series. I think, at least. That's my prediction.
You never know, Roddy. We might have Eternal for map 4.
Yeah, that was my second pick, obviously, because Eternal has obviously delivered on a couple of 1,000+ games of Zerglings going down, or 1,000 Zerglings plus going down in games. But I feel Everdream, like souL is just, I feel like unbreakable on Everdream. If you give him 3 bases, he's gonna get 4. And if you give him 4, like with the way that he plays, souL never moves out with more than 28 supplies, so it's really hard to attack into him off creep.
That is how he likes to do it. Yeah, he really does. And like you say, once you get 3, you get 4, and once you get 4, you get 5 on this map, right? And it just, there's just breaking it just becomes a huge difficulty. So It really has ended up split map a lot of the time in the past, and would not be surprised to see it again here. But let's see, we do have Banshee on the way already from souL, and Elazer making a round as Zerglings get ready to help him defend against these aliens as his link speed is finishing. And souL just get that cloak going as well, so it is going to be cloaked Banshees. As Elazer will also drop the lair, so an early lair and maybe a fast fire in the next few minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely a pretty quick lair, right? All things considered. Good job there by Elazer getting the surround on that Reaper. souL was able to get a couple of Hellion shots off, but nothing too big, not too many links going down in the process. souL already producing 3 SCVs at a time. That's the way we know he loves to play. I'm a little bit surprised, by the way, that there is no vision in the top side of souL's base. Like, actually, with how much space there is on this map, I really feel like we should see more Niduses on Everdream. Somehow we don't.
Yeah, I mean, people have been floating entire buildings into bases the last few days, so...
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, it's... I actually casted another game where it happened today as well, not even in TVZ. TVP Ghost Rush for the float into the main.
Oh, yeah, those are gnarly, man. Did it get a lot of props?
Yeah, Alpha expansion as well. So it was like second Rax Proxseed flies in the main, kills like 13 workers.
Oh my god. Had personal cloaking too and stuff?
No, just cloakless. But they also attack with like 10 Marines on the front or something.
Wow, who did this? This sounds amazing.
Special versus stats from the ESL Korea Cup.
Did Special win?
Yeah, well, yes, like 10 minutes later. It was a pretty epic ending.
Wow, that's awesome. That actually sounds really cool, especially of a barracks, because that makes it, or an expand, because that makes it, like, it's obviously still a bit gimmicky, but it makes it a lot less gimmicky and just makes it really cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's a really sick game altogether.
Say again, sorry?
Just really sick game altogether. But, yeah, this game might get interesting because Hellions are trying to fight the Lings. Banshees are making their way around the left to try and find a couple of drones they can get as well with 5 racks building in the main.
Yeah, that's an 8 Rex, so maybe souL is going to be a little more aggressive this game than we often see him. As these Banshees are starting to get some decent work in as well. Obviously, Elazer had a lot of drones to begin with, but if both Banshees get out, I think it's pretty good, but I don't think both Banshees get out. You may as well kill a couple drones here, souL. And that is exactly... Oh, good job there by Elazer saving the last one.
Yeah, nicely done.
Good play, I think, on both sides there.
Yeah, 8 drones is very manageable when you're on so many as Elazer. So he shouldn't be too worried about that. He's again done this thing where he drones up massively. Talking about it being a fairly fast spire, he actually just went earlier left for the Balin speed. And now drops the spire a little bit later on after upgrades. I think a big part of that is also like just getting Overseers out early now to help deal with Cloak Banshees. A lot of Zergs have been doing this because these Terrans got really good with Cloak Banshees, and Zergs were like, well, if I have an Overseer, it makes that so much easier.
This is going to be one hell of a push, though, eventually for souL. Like, at this point, he doesn't have that many Marines. But if he is able to babysit the Marines he has out on the map at this point, and a minute and a half from now, his Marine count is going to be outrageous. Did Elazer ever see the amount of barracks? No. The last thing that Elazer saw was that there was an Orbiter command in the main base. So that's a long time ago. And obviously, we've been memeing a little bit, and we've been joking about how souL likes to play. I think it's important for Elazer to get a good idea of what's actually happening here.
I was going to say, right, it's not really the map you expect souL to 8 racks on as well, right? So all of a sudden, this becomes Elazer kind of playing this macro game. He's going to get all these mutas up. He's gone to an insane drone count. And then souL shows up with this army, and suddenly Elazer's like, oh, well, that's not what I've been preparing for at all. He drops an infestation pit already. That doesn't feel great. He's going to try and get on top of that, but it just doesn't go for it. And then he takes some big shots, and he's down 30 army supply.
Yeah, no, this is actually starting to look really dicey. He's making 7 more banings, he's firing up +2. It still feels like Elazer is treating this as, nah, there's no way that this is ever gonna kill me. And obviously if the banings connect with the Marines and he cleans up the tanks, he's right. But I think he should start respecting this a little more than he's done so far. Because like I said, souL's Marine count is about to be outrageous. He's producing 12 of them at a time. He's reinforcing this position, more units are coming in. Yeah, Elazer needs to clean this up, but I don't know how. What are the mutas doing? What?
Yeah, they're just like chilling out over there. I went to see as well to see if there was anything being planned. He's going to have 7 flying into the 3rd, which is unprotected apart from some Hellions. These Hellions should probably be maybe with this push at this point, I feel like...
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they're over there, but I feel like they're still nice to have. Get a few Hellbats. Here we go. Big fight. Banes are going to go running into this. And you know what, Roddy? I just don't know if there's enough. Look how many Marines are going to be left in the background of this. There's still a few more Banes.
Oh my god.
But there's so many Marines.
Yeah, that was beautiful by souL. Really well done. Sure, a couple of banelings connected here and there, but I think in the way he split it in the end, it was actually excellent. Only lost 6 SVs at home as well. Now he is still losing more because these mutas are annoying. Okay, the Marines are going to try to push this back, and the Marines are pushing this back as Elazer wasn't paying attention for a split second. Wants to connect with Marines, but those banelings are actually in danger as well of not even finishing up. The Hellbats are clumped up though, so at least these Hellbats go down a little bit, but the firepower of this Terran army is way too much to deal with.
Did you see these Hellbats go down? Like, there was still 4 standing. I couldn't believe it. I thought, I agree, right? Like, it feels like all the Banes crash in, they all blow up at once. It's like, well, at least they soaked a couple Banes, but not the best. They were still killing Lings at the end of this fight. What? Absolutely.
I thought they were dead. Maybe he moved them past the banelings moved them past the Hellbats because he's like, I just want to kill the Marines.
Yeah, I think he like blew up a couple, but then not the rest. All right, well, just need to be told our 4th map here, and we can go into this. It's still up 2-1, and we've not hit the 10-minute marker yet, Roddy.
I know, what is happening? Well, Eternal then, okay. I was wrong about Everdream. I was wrong about that prediction, but Eternal Empire has to deliver.
Yeah,
there's a map that we've seen. Yeah, that was crazy, right? I mean, obviously, I don't want to be too critical of Elazer because he's already been playing like high-level, intense StarCraft for 5.5 hours straight at this point. These tournaments, they can be brutal. It can be very intense. He, of course, had a sick game against Gongfu that just felt like it was never going to end. I think it's only normal. You start going on autopilot a little bit. You start making a couple of decisions that were clearly questionable. And this is the meme about Elazer not scouting, but it would have been really nice for that Overlord that was behind the base, that flew over once, that saw an orbital. If we would have just checked one time and I would have seen the amount of barracks, then I think Elazer plays it out completely different, right?
Yeah. I mean, the moment you realize that this is not 4 bases, this is not souL playing passively. This is souL 8-raxing and attacking from like 1-1 as well. Like, he didn't wait for 2G. He went early and he kept going, and then Elazer was just never able to recover from that as we wait for souL to ready up to start Eternal Empire. That's all we're waiting for. souL gives us the go-ahead. We'll get this underway.
That's crazy. After that first game, it felt like it's starting to go really well for Elazer. He's been on fire. He's been playing a solid StarCraft over the last few weeks. And not only, I feel like we made 3 jokes and we sneezed twice, and suddenly souL is on championship point. You know, it's like, how did we get here, Wardi?
Yeah, I know. This is what happened last week, right? We were like, it's going to be a 2 a.m. finish. And here we are, 11:30, and we're like, well, there's a best of 3 to go, but these games keep up like this, you know, maybe done before the day ticks over. Hopefully not.
Yeah. I mean, what is going to be very cool is that obviously the winner of this series is going to do his absolute best in that final match against Reynor, because they will be playing for an AOC monitor. It will obviously be the first one that either of them would win here. First season of the Xel'Naga Finest. So let's hope at least then we'll get a game 5. You know, if the games are this short, Wardi, then I want game 5. On the left bottom side of Eternal Empire, looking in the main base of the Polish Zerg. He's down 1-2, needs to turn it around. It is Elazer.
And of course, he's already played one extremely long game on this map today, so he's very familiar with Eternal Empires. In the top right, our Red Terran. Is he going to get back in touch with his command centers? Let's find out. It's souL.
I felt like he was a bit frustrated with how that first game played out. He wrote in the chat as well to us that he was just feeling really tired. He needs a minute. And definitely got things back together, man, because he's been analyzing things really well in the previous 2 games. I think his scouting early game was on point. He just knew exactly what was going on. And it felt like he didn't even have to do much for it. And suddenly he's up 2-1 in the grand finals.
Yeah, just a couple of... I mean, obviously he lost the first game, but then turned around game 2. BC's teleported in, GG. Third game, made some racks, made some Marines. More or less GG. Some good splits as well, obviously, and good controlling of the fights. And I'm really intrigued as to what he goes in game number 4, because I feel like souL's playing a series right now where he's just doing everything Elazer doesn't expect him to do on each map. So you know, double BCs as like, you know, pretty committed and not really just going into the bio on Nightshade and then not really playing into you know, the longer game on Everdream. So what does he have planned for Eternal? Like I said, it just feels like it's mind game after mind game at the moment.
Yeah. Obviously, these guys are good friends. I feel like they have played a lot of games against each other over the years. I think they're both pretty dedicated in practicing as well. I mean, we know that Elazer plays custom games with Hearthstone all day pretty much, but I'm sure that they play a fair amount of custom games with each other as well. Because I don't see them as like the biggest ladder monsters in the scene, right? Like, they obviously need ladder, they have high level accounts all the time. But it's not like if you watch other streamers play that they run into souL or Elazer all the time. I think maybe Elazer even a bit more than souL. But I think the souL truly loves custom games. And I'm sure that they play their fair share of games against each other as well. Because there are very few people in Europe who are on the level of souL and Elazer. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, there is not a lot. As you do see a third CC from souL, so playing towards that eco-focused game here on Eternal, but even the positioning of it, right? He's not positioning it to be floated down super easily or super quickly. He's playing it so it's hard for Elazer to scout, hard for Elazer to know what's going on, and with the series it's been so tricky to read up until now, it's going to make it even trickier for Elazer. So yeah, definitely, you know, I like the decision, just souL trying to hide as much as possible, even if it costs him a bit of mining time.
No, I'm with you. That's going to delay his command center from landing for a couple of seconds, of course. But this also makes it a bit more difficult for Elazer to figure out what's happening. I mean, no, Elazer is not the guy to always go Overlord speed or to fly Overseer after Overseer into the main base. I like it as well. I'm with you. Stim is going to be researched. So this is a bit similar to what we saw on, I think was his plan on Zen, right? Was that his plan on Zen?
Yeah.
No, that was completely different.
Yeah.
I feel like we saw this opening before, the quick stim triple CC, but who else did souL play? Did he play another Zerg today?
Lambo?
Ah, okay. Yeah, he did it against Lambo.
Yeah.
Was it Lambo on Nightshade, maybe?
I can't remember.
No, me neither. Too many games.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it must have been, right? Because then Lambo Baneling busted and he already had Stim. It was a very
yeah, exactly. Damn. Well done, Wardi. Well done.
We nailed it. Alright, well, yeah, it means he only has 4 Hellions, so he's not really as active out on the map, denying creep or anything. Feeling's trying to run at the front. They see the Marines already, so it's a pretty good indicator that Hellion production is kind of done. So Elazer at that point sort of says, okay, well, that is, you know, not a lot of Hellions. Maybe I need to make sure I make some units faster because there might be something coming my way, so that should be some good info for him. This is a nice little snipe down on an SCV.
Just gonna try to get in one more time, but yeah. I want to say there's a chance that Elazer was watching those games as well, but that's actually no chance because he was in a 47-minute game with Kung Fu Band on this map, so I'm not sure if he's aware of it. Maybe he asked Lambo quickly, you know, what were the openings. Pro gamers don't need to talk to each other for a long time to figure out how a best of 3 kind of played out. So there is a chance that he's putting 2 and 2 together. This is not the right way for an Overseer to fly in.
Nope.
That was a bit sloppy because there's not a whole lot going on right now, Elazer. Just flew right over all those Marines. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he did see the Marine count. Which
yeah, I mean, it's a good point. It's just funny the way it went down, right? That's gonna be a lot of Marines coming across. He does have a Bane's down. He does have Baneling speed on the way, but he doesn't have Baneling's morphing yet. So something he has to be wary of, because I don't think he can really delay this too much longer. He hasn't actually taken... Okay, he's going to take the 4th base on the high ground, but souL sees there's no 4th on the low ground, so he's not going to be fooled. He knows that's going to be there, and yeah, 3 Banelings currently morphing. That's not enough.
There is no creep here at all either, right? So how do you even defend that? Let's say he had a couple of Banelings there. How is he ever going to be able to keep that hatchery alive? This is going to sting for Elazer, because obviously you want to get this base down. Look at Elazer's money at this point. Already sitting on 700 minerals, since like, well, I may as well destroy down the Spire. But you want to get this base down. You want to protect this creep as well. Banelings were thinking about it, but if you're engaged there, if you're Elazer, the fight starts on creep, but it definitely ends off creep. Oh, grenade! Come on! Oh, that would have been cool.
I think you already used the grenade. It's on cooldown.
Really?
Yeah.
Another one!
Unnerf the Reaper. Yeah, he's gonna get that creep queue in now though when he tries to expand forward again, which is Still nice because it gets rid of the active tumor, and so the queens have to spend the energy once again. And yeah, still, is might actually going to get another cancel on the 4th base here. Elazer is expanding to the left side as well, but I mean, that's a base which still pushes into so easily on the left. It's not really ideal.
No, I really don't like where this is going for Elazer. He completely lost track of this army. He's setting up a little bit of a Ling Bane counterattack, I think, in the left top side. But souL wasn't born last night. He knows that these cancels are not supposed to be that easy. And that means that something is going on. I think this Ling is kind of revealing the plans that Elazer has there as well. I actually don't even want to see Elazer commit to this Baning boss through the depots.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not going to be successful at all.
There's so many siege tanks just waiting, naturally, because this is souL's base. And, yeah, I mean, the Vanes are going to try and roll on forwards.
Oh, no. Marines are trying to get a cancel on the base on the left side as well. That's not going to happen, at least.
At least he gets the cleanup. The Lings do run in, by the way, and they get absolutely shut down. Killing about one supply depot.
Yeah, depot and an SCV, I think. Now the queens get caught in the middle of the map as well. Oh no, this is just kind of a disastrous game for Elazer at this point. Who will be able to get a couple of Hellions finally. And 7 meters are on the way, so that's kind of cool. But that base, the one that you already mentioned, is just not a pleasant base to defend. There's a reason why Zerg players more often than not take the rich Vespian gas, then take the base at 6 o'clock, and then sometimes even take like the next rich Vespian gas, right? You just don't take this base very quickly. It's so hard to defend. Elazer didn't start 2-2 upgrades, by the way, either yet. Yeah. That's also not that nice. Oh, no, man.
I mean,
I'm very worried.
He's taken so much damage against what is essentially, well, it is an Atrax. souL just not messing around here. He wants to end these games. It's a different kind of souL to what we saw playing Lambo. And these Marines are just on top of this hatchery. It's going to go. You just can't defend it. I mean, if you run in with this, it's not pretty. The Middleists just ran in overhead on the tanks, but the Marines were there, so they took a beating. Yeah. And, what, 2 Middleists went down already? This base goes down. I mean, what, souL unsieges, rotates back to the right side. You know, it's like a tennis match. You know, takes this side, goes to the other side, gets that one. But, yeah, I mean, Elazer's just not getting anywhere. He's not winning any of these fights.
It's been a long time since I've seen a Zerg struggle this much in an evenly matched series to get a 4th base up. It's just not really a dynamic we see very often anymore, right? Like sometimes Terran players get very lucky and they get like 1 cancel, but then they run home with their tail between their legs because they're like, all right, we lost a couple of Marines there to get this done. souL got like 3-4 cancels at this point and, well, picked up 1 base as well. And now he's got an incredibly strong army there. I just dropped something on my keyboard, I'm sorry. And what does Elazer really do about this? Like, yeah, he's gonna try to counterattack one more time, but look at these mutas above all these Marines, above a missile turret. That's not pretty either.
Oh, Lings are gonna go running into this. I mean, it's just Marines at a choke point.
Bottom side?
Yeah, bottom side is just not going well either. There's so many tanks here, they're just surviving so many fights. They've got a lot of kills on them. 1 tank has 24 kills, I mean. Let that just summarize how this game's been going. Look at the resources lost. 2.7k to 8k.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Okay, that is insane. I knew it was going well for souL, but what?
Yeah.
You never see that. Like, this many resources difference. 2-2 upgrades now finish up, by the way, as well for souL. So he can really go to town to everything in the main base of Elazer as well. I don't think Elazer has a single unit in position. Okay, he's gonna send a couple of Zerglings to deal with this. But still, closing in on 10,000 resources lost against just 3,400. It seems like the Terrans will get a sweep of the Xel'Naga Finest, Wardi.
And you know what? They probably still feel economically behind.
I felt economically behind all 6 weeks watching this.
Oh, Midas will not even get the low health tank. Nope. Absolutely nothing going Elazer's way. Oh, he gets a siege tank, Roddy. Celebration time.
Yeah. That is nice, and he has sort of re-expanded on the left top side, but this just feels really brutal. Midas now all come all the way back home. Elazer at least finally has been able to spend his money a little bit. Whoa, what is happening with his units there? That looks so awkward. They were all stuck behind the middle line. I was like, what are they doing? It's like a little tango dance. I mean, 3-3 upgrades are already on the way, while the Hive isn't even done yet for Elazer. Elazer is just losing drones left, right, and center. There are the sensor towers we like to see from our boy souL. Midos fly in, but there is a Thor in the mix.
But souL's now going full soul, where he won't actually kill a Elazer. He'll just take every single base, just because he missed building CCs in this game, you know? As the Elazer does take more damage on those mutas quite seriously into the main, which is only a turret to defend. I mean, if there's a way back, it's probably through these mutas finding some crazy damage along the way.
The Taurus coming in the main base, by the way. That's kind of cool. He's gonna get a couple of shots in. I think Banelings rolled into the planetary there, or at least tried to, but didn't really get much done. Don't forget that souL still has a legit army on the bottom side of the map that we haven't looked at in the last few minutes, but souL was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try to get some value out of this army. This is a few more supply than I normally have out on the map. I think Elazer also kind of forgot about all these units still being there. And that's going to be hard to engage as well. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, sure. But it's important you don't lose too much if you're Elazer. Now everything goes into the main. The mutas are on the other side of the map. Just the Lings are going to have a very hard time dealing with these Marines.
Yeah, Lings just continue running. A few mutalists overhead are going to be prime targets for those Marines as well. It's going to be a cleanup, but now souL using this as a chance to go to the left-hand side, because that's where Elazer's still trying to use a fourth base or make a fourth base work. And well, just going to push on in. A lot of Lings running up to the top, but Widow Mine's already set up, so you're going to have to be very, very careful about how you use those. One traitorous mine, but the rest are starting to line up on the Banelings. And there's one big shot already as the Widow Mines that just showed up actually got picked off right away, but there's Marines on the left, there's Marines on the right. Widow Mines aren't even being killed. Meters aren't exactly going to have fun here with the rest of the Marines that are remaining, and yeah, so continues to push on through. GG, he is your, yet again, Terran champion of the Xel'Naga Finest. And he does win this 3-1 over Elazer. Pomp DCs. Are you still in the game?
No, I just left.
This is amazing. Someone DC'd on the victory screen, so I can't leave the game until they DC.